All right. We are live here tonight, Wednesday, the 20th of September. We are just approaching fall, and it's such a beautiful time here in the Northeast. So I'm really excited for it. I'm sure you are too, Wendy. And I'm so happy to have the most amazing Wendy Wildman here tonight to share her experiences with you, to hopefully um, connect with you with some of the struggles that you may be experiencing, some of the same things that she's been going through, and to know that we're all in this game together, ladies. And some of the things that she has experienced that have kind of changed her world. So welcome, Wendy.
Thank you so much. I'm also here in the Northeast. I'm a little further north than you in Massachusetts, beautiful Newburyport, Massachusetts. I actually just relocated here about 3 years ago, although I've been vacationing here for about 15, 16 years. So when it was time to make a move, there really was no question where my entire family wanted to live. Yes, I've been here for about 3 years. And prior to that, I'm originally from New Jersey and then Pennsylvania. Very familiar with where you are in Flemington. I didn't live too far from there when I lived in Pennsylvania. And it was just time to make a change. So we did. And luckily, I still was able to find the Limitless Lifestyle Academy and go from there.
And here you are.
And here I am. And I should just give you a little bit of background. I went to Rutgers University. I'm a psychology major. And most of my career was spent in the professional banking industry. I did stay home for about 15 years with my kids, and I loved it. I loved being a stay-at-home mom. Certainly didn't just stay at home. I filled my days with a lot of volunteer work, and everything just sort of changed when COVID hit. And like I said, we were able to make a move. It was a pretty quick move. And my one daughter was in high school. My son was in college. And, you just kind of look back and say, now what? I knew I did not want to go back into the industry that I had worked in so many years prior. And I just really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. One day I was just kind of looking around on the internet and I found a one-day retreat that you guys were doing. And I signed up for it, and it was about 6 hours of different speakers, everything from nutrition to stress to sleeping, everything health and wellness related. And I really enjoyed it. I didn't really do anything beyond that for quite a while because I was in the middle of a move. It actually took 2 moves to get here. One was we were renting for a while, and then we were purchasing. So when things did settle down, I reached out again, and I had a wonderful conversation with you, Dorian. We talked for quite a while, and it was right in time for a program called the Happy Body program that you were doing. But in our conversations, you had suggested that I read the Positive Intelligence book. And so I did. I went right out and got it. And I was hooked. So that's where I am now. That's what's brought me here today to doing this interview with you.
Oh, amazing, Wendy. Yeah. Like your whole journey this past year has been so amazing to be a part of and see, gosh, how you have grown. It's been crazy. So, Wendy, how has your overall perspective on wellness and self-care for yourself evolved since the beginning of the program?
It's evolved a lot. So I think as moms, especially when we get to the point where maybe our kids, they will always need us. Our husbands people will always need us, but in a different way. And I think that learning to put myself first and, higher up in the level of importance it takes some time because we definitely feel, or I should speak for myself only, we're taught that that's a selfish thing to do. And in doing my work with you and the programs, I realized that it's not selfish at all, and it's absolutely necessary. So by taking care of myself and incorporating some of the new practices in my daily life that I've been doing, I noticed changes in all different areas of my life. My confidence has grown exponentially. I'm eating healthier. I mean, I thought, oh, I eat well. I sleep okay. But once you really learn so much more from professionals, you can really put these, things into action, and they do make a big difference. So I prioritize my self-care. I get regular massages now. If I want to sit down in the middle of the day and read a book, I'll do it. If I want to go out for a walk, I'll do it. And what that does is it just makes me be a better me, and that I can be what I need to be for other people without losing myself.
Yes. Love it. Girl, that's
Yeah.
what it's all about. That is such a huge thing for so many women.
Mhm.
We take decades, to dedicate ourselves to our family and our careers, whatever we're doing. And we put ourselves second, we put ourselves third, we put ourselves last. And that becomes it becomes conditioned in us.
Mhm.
So it becomes just our default way of doing things.
Mhm.
And then, all of a sudden, you're here at this stage of life, and you start thinking, wow, like, what am I doing? Because people don't need you as much. They're off
Right.
doing their own things. Yeah. So it causes this like really um, significant incongruency between the way that we think and the way our life is right now.
And the
Right?
way and expectations of society, really.
Yes.
Being crazy busy and not taking care of yourself and taking care of everybody else is really revered in our world. And to take care of yourself first is not. So you have to realize that it's okay and necessary.
Absolutely. So, Wendy, you've been through, it's been about a year or so, almost a year now,
Coming
right?
up on a year.
Working through the programs. And we really started focusing on the mental fitness aspect in a big way, on like January, correct? And right. So Wendy had gone through our baseline fitness program, wellness program.
Mhm.
And then we really started incorporating the mental fitness aspect into it. So she hopped on board. And so, Wendy, in what ways has the mental fitness aspect that, because we combine all sorts of coaching, everybody, if you don't know this, we combine health, wellness, life, and now mental fitness coaching with our physical fitness, our physical well-being coaching, right? So Wendy, how has this mental fitness aspect given you, tools to handle stress, anxiety, um, things that come up into your life that are have been historically um, um, limiting for you?
The mental fitness aspect of my work with you has been life changing for me. Learning about the brain. I mean, I did tell you I was a psychology major. I had some background in that from years past, but also as a pastime, I would read many brain books and listen to podcasts and just always trying to educate myself. So I was familiar with the concepts of being able to rewire your brain, retrain your brain, but I never put it into practice. So by going through the positive intelligence program, we learned the tools to actually put the practices to work, and they're very practical, they're very tangible, they're very doable. Nobody even has to know you're doing it. And just being able to intercept the way your brain wants to normally go, which isn't always great. Just being able to have the tools to kind of stop it in its tracks. Once you start being aware of how is this making me feel? What is this doing to me, physiologically? So yes, I had several challenges that had developed over the years. I didn't have them as a kid. And I'll share a couple of them with you. I developed a fear of flying. I developed a fear of heights. And I also developed a very strong fear of going to the doctor. And by doing these, the practices that we learn in positive intelligence, I've made huge strides in all of those, in all of those areas. And to me, once I started doing that, the first time I noticed, I was going to be climbing a lighthouse with my family, and I noticed I wasn't nervous. I was excited about it because of what I had done for the lead up. And then similarly, I took a trip in June that was, 4 flights because we had a connecting flight, so 4 times up and down. And I just noticed that I didn't have I didn't suffer for a week ahead of time worrying about it. So my next challenge was, my biggest challenge was I had a doctor's appointment. And and it was just a plain regular doctor's appointment, nothing important. But I was actually, rather than nervous about it, I was curious to see how this program was going to affect my everything, my attitude, how I felt, just being in this situation. And I came out of that and called you immediately to tell you that you changed my life.
You did.
At the end of that visit, my doctor even said, what is different here? And I told her the program that I'm in and what I've been working on. She actually made notes in my chart, which made me very proud that, I did this work, that it can be done. And yeah, like, I'm just excited for it to continue to improve, and in all areas. So
Yeah,
that's huge.
I remember that day, Wendy, when you called me, you're like, I have to tell you this incredible thing that's happened. And literally, you guys, our viewers, she was so excited. And like, my heart was just like so happy for Wendy, because even though you guys, whoever you're listening here, you want to lose weight, you want to have a healthier lifestyle. But what we need to remember is that all of our thought patterns, and even if it has nothing to do with weight loss or wellness, it affects our weight loss and wellness and how we want to live our lives and be. So seeing with our mental fitness program, it's about embracing what you want and saying, okay, this is what I want, but why am I having such a hard time getting there? And we teach you a system, right, Wendy? Like it's
Absolutely.
a pretty simple system to start to rewire your brain so your brain serves you instead of sabotaging you. And that's kind of what you were explaining there, Wendy.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
So we all have saboteurs, and this is maybe getting a little bit too involved, but we all have those voices in our head telling us, for whatever reason, you can't go up to that lighthouse because it's going to fall the minute you're in it, or you can't go up on that plane because God knows what. You can't go, the doctor's appointment is not going to go well. So you have this in your head, and we always will have that in our head. It's never going to disappear. But we have the power and we learn the power to quiet that. And when you
Yes.
quiet that and you strengthen other areas, then that's not the path your brain wants to automatically go anymore. Once you start to see the little improvements, in my case, I got excited to see the things that I knew were more challenging for me. So
Yeah. So that kind of brings up a thought for me, Wendy. Like, there's people who believe like that mental fitness can't be taught or trained. And I know personally that that's not a fact. But how do you feel about um, that statement that a mental fitness can't be taught or trained?
it definitely can. I'm living proof. It's we talk about it as a muscle when we're learning about how you need to work to strengthen any muscle. You can't just talk yourself into it. That doesn't work. I know that doesn't work because I've tried it. It doesn't work. Um, so by doing the exercises that we learn, and it's not only the exercises, it's the understanding of what's going on, and it's the real you can learn facts, but the real true understanding of what's going on, like that light bulb moment, that in addition to the exercises is what really starts making the difference. So I would say to people to give it a try and to really be patient, and one of the things that we learn is to have empathy, not only for others but for yourself. So give yourself the time it takes to really understand it, and if it doesn't come immediately, just keep at it, because it will come at different rates to different people. So you can definitely retrain. I've experienced it.
Yeah. And Wendy, like, you went through our 7-week kind of mental fitness, happy mind boot camp, I kind of say. I'm curious what you thought going into it, and then what you thought coming out of that 7-week kind of boot camp.
Well, in the beginning, even though I read the book and then I listened to the book on tape, which was really good because it kind of solidifies what you've read. But so one of the exercises is to, and there's all reasoning behind this, but I'm just going to say because this is part of my story. So one of the exercises is to press your fingers together until you can feel the ridges on each side of your finger. And and this is all about stopping your brain in its tracks and focusing on your senses. So that's just a little bit of the background. But when I first started doing that, and for several weeks, I was thinking to myself, what is this doing? I was trying to press so hard so I could feel it. I'm pressing and pressing till I could feel the ridges. And then one day I just realized, oh, I don't have to press hard. If I focus, I can feel the ridges. And that
Yes.
was eye-opening.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to be all in on the focusing, and kind of let it happen, like I said, at your pace, at your own speed. And for me, I think that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was huge, because at first I couldn't feel the ridges, and I thought, what am I doing wrong here? I'm doing it, but then I got it.
Yeah. So what Wendy's explaining is that there's a process that we go through to retrain our brains um, away from negative default thinking that we all have, and to be able to switch over to a side of our brain that is positive and beautiful and adventurous and exploratory. And we use these little techniques, sensory techniques, to kind of come into a neutral place. That's kind of how I think of it, Wendy. Coming
Mhm.
into a neutral place to switch from our negative default thinking over into more positive thinking that can guide us and lead us into everything that we want in our lives. So Wendy, if you had to say, like, what is your biggest takeaway? What is your biggest aha? How is this going to impact you? How has it impacted you now? But how is it going to impact the rest of your life in your wellness and for what you want and how you want to live the rest of your life?
Oh, wow. Well, I can't imagine being without the concept of positive intelligence. I think that it is going to be a book that will be well worn on my nightstand. Even if life happens and I slip away from time to time, I just know that I will always come back to it because that's how much it's made a difference in my life. And if I do, for whatever reason, slip away, that's okay. I won't beat myself up over it. But I'm not anywhere near there. But sometimes life happens and you get busy and you just need to let things go for a little bit. But I know for me, it will help me cope with anything that comes my way. It's made just tremendous impact on my life the last year. I've had things things and people come into my life that I'm excited about. I wasn't expecting that.
Yes.
I want to do well. I feel like what you put out there, you get back tenfold. I
Yes.
just started a new job. That's a perfect example. And it's great. And it probably, I'm not sure I would have approached the job the same way prior to this experience. So, I know that
Yes.
had impact.
I love your story. Just can you give just a really quick little synopsis of how
Of the
you?
job.
Yeah.
So, okay, real quick. So I'm in the jewelry business now, which is, I love it. And my previous employer retired, so I knew that I would be losing my job. And I took a few weeks off, and I was interviewing, and I was coming very close to accepting a position with a company in a different industry. It was an interesting job. It would have been fine. It would have been great. But I woke up one morning and I just said to myself, I really am not ready to leave this industry. And I had been looking in the area on Indeed and everything, ZipRecruiter, all of that to see if anybody was hiring. No. So I woke up one morning and I just got myself ready, I had my resume updated, of course, because I'd been looking, marched into the finest jewelry store in all of Newburyport and explained that I was looking for a job. This person was not advertising. He was not looking. And within about 20 minutes, I was hired. And I started last week.
It's amazing.
And I love it. And it's a great fit for me, but I'm a great fit for them. And that's something that I would not have done. I would not have had the confidence to walk into a place of employment, seek out the owner, introduce myself, explain my situation, and I did it. So
Yeah.
that's huge for me.
Amazing. So Wendy, we have viewers here who are struggling with, weight and struggling with their wellness and perhaps struggling with their becoming empty nesters or that they're going through this pivotal change in their lives, in your 40s, your 50s. And it can mess with your head, right? And so if you could give like a word of advice or I guess a word of advice from your own experience over the past year or so. It's been a little bit just about a year, Wendy. We've been working together.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say? What would you say to them about?
I would say that they need to invest in themselves, because if they invest in themselves and their health and wellness is everything, whether it's your physical wellness, your mental wellness, it's everything. It trickles into every area of your life. and it's something that you need to work at, especially, at our age. We're not 15 anymore where we could eat what we want and do what we want, and you need to work at it. But you know what? When you have the right group that you're working with, it's fun, and it's something that you look forward to. Like, our meetings were Monday nights, and my family knew Monday night, and now they're Tuesday night, and my family knows Tuesday nights. But it's fun, and there's so much to be gained by being with a group of women that you can bounce ideas off of. And I have learned so much, and I have made wonderful friends, and I wasn't looking for friends, and I didn't
Right.
know. I didn't know.
Tell a little bit about you and Donna.
Me and Donna, me and Amanda,
Right.
everybody. It's just great. And so I would say, take a chance on yourself, and invest in yourself, and give the gift of health and wellness to yourself.
I love it.
You're with anxieties, whether they're lifelong or new. Nip them in the bud, and Dorian's got the tools. So and it's fun. It's fun, and it's nothing nothing that you dread. It's not. I'm not saying you're not going to work, but I just keep thinking that it's fun, it's rewarding, and it's lifelong. I've got areas that I want to continue to improve, and I always will. Always. There'll always be something to work on. We're never done.
We're never done. We're never done. But you know what? When you have the right mental capacity, and we're not talking mental health here, and I want to be clear on that with everybody. We're talking about mental fitness. Mm-hmm. Just like you're going to exercise your body and your muscles in your body to be stronger, to support you, it's the same thing with your brain. And this is what Wendy has learned, and so many of my other clients have learned, and why Wendy is here tonight to talk about her story and her journey. So hopefully it resonates with other people and other women, that you can step in and explore this possibility of expanding your brain into a place that it supports you instead of sabotaging you.
And the fact that we have control over that is so empowering. Once you feel that feeling, you feel like you're unstoppable.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Wendy. That is so gosh darn true. Mm-hmm. Unstoppable. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I could continue talking to Wendy. Like, her story is just incredible. There's so much more to it. But girl, I want to thank you so much tonight for being here, taking time away from your family, to share your story, your experience, about what we're doing to help ourselves. But in helping ourselves and spreading the word, we're helping other people, and we're helping this movement to grow. So I thank you so much for being here and sharing.
Welcome. I enjoyed it. And you're right. Sometimes the first step is because you have connected with something that somebody said, or you have a similar experience, and that's all it takes. So if this chat can do that for somebody, I'm thrilled.
Yes. And Wendy, and thank you. We are going, just so you all know who's viewing this, we are going to be having our first mental fitness. It's called Happy Mind workshop. It's going to be the first weekend in October. We're solidifying the date. It's going to be the 7th or the 8th. We're thinking the 8th. We'll know for sure within a day or so. but kind of put that out on your radar. And the cool thing is you're going to come into this workshop and you're going to learn a lot of the principles and techniques and the system that Wendy has learned, so that you're going to leave there that day and be like, wow, you're going to walk in this one person and you're going to walk out. I don't want to say a different person, but you're going to have a different perspective when you walk out the doors you just walked into. And you're going to feel elated by the possibilities that life has to offer you. Right? That maybe you think aren't there anymore for yourself. And so that's coming up the first week in October. So stay tuned on our social media, our Instagram, Real Coach Dorian, and Limitless Lifestyle Academy on Facebook, and Sphericality on Facebook. And we'll be putting emails out, lots of information about this program. And the other really cool thing is that we are going to be donating the proceeds to Evolve Pink, which is an organization that is near and dear to my heart. One of my dear, dear, dear friends, Dr. Jennifer Montes, who is the lead breast surgeon for the Hunterdon Breast Surgery Center, created this organization because she saw a need for women who are going through, but more so women who have kind of rung the bell and they're past their post-treatment, but their team is gone, their people are gone, and they're left feeling like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So this organization helps them reintegrate themselves, reinvent themselves, renew themselves back into life. So we're loving that. Going into Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we have a lot of other things that are going on as well. But we'll be getting information out about the mental fitness, happy mind, happy body, happy life workshop coming up. And I'm hoping that Wendy will also be there. It is a live in-person event at our studio and also at the Evolve Pink Thrivers Lounge. But we're also going to be broadcasting live to the world. So I'm really hoping that Wendy can be there to speak and share her experience again. And it's going to be an awesome time. So keep on the lookout for information about that. And Wendy, any last comments from you, my friend?
Just something that you just said about you said something about things being exciting, and that you stop thinking of things that way, and it's very true. Just everything is just exciting and fun, and our sage perspective tells us that we can find the good in anything. And it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. So come have some fun with us, come learn. And thank you, my dear Wendy, for taking this time for us tonight. And you'll hear some more from Wendy, hopefully, at our event. So everybody have an amazing night. Please, please, please share this with anybody, any woman you love who might be struggling with anything. It could be weight loss, it could be wellness, but it could be anything else in life. What we're teaching here and we're practicing can be applied to any area of our life. And when we apply this happiness approach to every area of our life, it affects our wellness. So I wish everybody a beautiful night, sending lots of love and light out to all of you. And again, a special thank you to Wendy for being here with us tonight. Love you so much.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.